Hello, good morning, and welcome back to whatever this is. Welcome back to social media and long-form content. Sorry, I'm in a very silly, goofy mood this morning. I also was gonna make coffee before I sat down to do this, and I didn't, so how badly do I want the coffee? I want the coffee. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. That's too hot. Anyways. Okay, I already said good morning, but welcome to Elizabeth wedding dress, because I've already done other Elizabeths. So Elizabeth wedding dress day 0. It's actually not day 0. This is a very long time coming, and very long time coming, I mean it is May, and I started researching this costume in November when the movie came out. Yeah, so I wasn't going to make this dress when I first saw the movie, even though I was obsessed with it. And then I started seeing all of the stills from it, and then I saw all of the people posting from the exhibition in London, and I was sold. So then I started actually researching it, and then I actually got to go to the exhibit here in LA, and I got just like so many more great photos, and I got to look at it up close, and like I could have touched that dress if I really wanted to, if I didn't want to get thrown out. Anyways, so my research actually started on Instagram, funnily enough. We'll put in a little screen record, okay? I have just a ton of saved posts from people who went to the exhibit when it was in England, people who worked on the movie, the costume designer, like there are actually a lot of fantastic references on Instagram, and I like almost want to make this public, but I also won't, you know. So let me find the post that was like the defining, like, yeah, this is, I'm gonna make this, and it was this one. Spoilers for the end of the movie. It was this one right here from the costume designer Kate Hawley, and it also, as soon as I found out it was Kate Hawley that designed it, I was like, sold. Making that. Love her work. Yeah, I literally started on Instagram just looking through the Frankenstein tag, and then also looking at people that were tagged by Kate Hawley in some of the posts, other people that were just showing up. There is this one, this fantastic still by the person who made the doll of Mia Goth for the movie, and that was great. And then also her stunt double, the wig artist, like there were so many people that did such fantastic work on this movie, and they all posted their work on Instagram, so thank you for that. Also shout out to all the cosplayers that like have already started this. There was also the behind the scenes documentary that they made that was like the anatomy of, and they talked about a lot of the costumes in that. So that's where I started, straight reference photos, looking for people who worked on the film and anything that they had posted. And then I found this Google Drive actually from a Discord that I was in that has since shut down, but it was a cosplay Discord that I was in, that someone had posted all of these high-res photos and stills from the movie and from the London exhibit. So the London costume exhibit had the fully white wedding dress there, and then the one here in LA had the bloodied one, which was fantastic that they used both, because I got fantastic photos of both of them. Obviously I got the bloodied ones here myself, and I got a bunch of videos and close-ups and stuff that I needed to see and wanted to see personally for the reconstruction of this. But so I got that Google Drive, which I love it when we and us and everyone here share all of our resources, and this is also your reminder that all of my reference images on my Google Drive are linked in the description below. I have a lot that I took myself that are older from when they used to do a costume exhibit at the fashion school in LA, and I got to go to a bunch of those. But yes, so I do have a lot of free resources linked down below. I also have a lot of downloadable tattoo templates for printing yourself. I haven't shouted those out in a while, so, you know, go check those out. But the next thing that I did was I started looking at what the fabric could be. There were a couple stills, that one that Kate Hawley posted of the front of the bodice. It's very high quality, so you can zoom in on it. And I started looking at what the materials could be and like what they probably are. And then I stumbled across another Instagram post. Let's see if I can find this one specifically. So there was this reel by House of Alvin that was trying to find the material for like the sleeve drapes. Let's see if I can find a good photo to kind of show those off. The drapey sleeves here. He was investigating what that material could be because it is also what they used for the red kind of drapey veil at the beginning of the movie in the backstory that Victor's mother was wearing. And they just flow incredibly. But if you know one thing about a lot of costume designers, especially costume designers who work in London and England, is that they are going to use top fabric in London. They just are. It's just like, it's just where they shop, okay? So I figured, I was like, this is definitely a top fabric kind of moment. In the comments on this video, the top comment is Top Fabric of London, and they said, "Hello, you are absolutely right. This is our fabric. There are two of our original fabrics in this dress. The one you showed is SKU 1500, which is our invisible silk organza. They used hundreds of meters from us. Some are likely dyed to use on other fabrics. Fun fact, the same fabric in black was used for Harry Potter's Cloak of Invisibility. Anytime we saw what they could see from inside the cloak, they draped a printed version of this over the camera." So I, of course, went to their website and I found this material, and I love that they included the SKU because that was so nice, because I definitely would have looked at something else. Let me grab. So obviously the SKU is 1500, but it is listed on their website as sheer silk gauze in ivory. Now, I already figured that it was going to be ivory. I knew it was going to be some sort of off-white, because if you know anything about film costumes, is you can't use bright white because it makes the cameras moire, which is when the cameras will kind of catch on it and flash. You've definitely seen it in some films. It bugs me because I can always spot it if it's too small of a print or like too tight of a weave with multiple colors, stripes, like all sorts of stuff will make the cameras moire and it'll flash, and it'll draw your attention right away. There's this scene in Emma. I love that movie so much, but his suit jacket mores, and it's during the love confession, and I'm sorry, it upsets me. Anyways, so I knew that this was going to be ivory. I also knew I would be getting this screen accurate material. And so I knew that I had to order this first so that I could match it to the other fabric that I got. I think I've had this fabric saved in my spreadsheets since December, at least. I've been sitting on it for quite a while now, but I also was trying to decide what other fabrics I wanted to get, and if I wanted to use all silk, if I wanted to use just a little bit of silk. I have since made the decision because I priced out how many approximate yards that I would need. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. I should have all of this ready. Like, I'm just like sitting here literally doing nothing. Why? So I found a few different satins that I thought it could be. I knew it was going to be a more structured satin, and I knew that the material over top of the satin was going to be a tulle, actually. I originally thought it was organza, and then I saw this photo that I zoomed in really close on, and I realized that it was definitely a tulle and not an organza. You can see the holes, like there's no weave, it's tulle. And then I saw the dress in person and I got like literally this close to it and I went, yep, that's tulle. But it's a soft tulle. It's not like a regular tulle like you would see somewhere else. So I found a few different soft tulles that were also from Top Fabric. So silk tulle soft, maybe screen accurate, because the only material that has been confirmed was the silk gauze. That is the only one I'm calling the true screen accurate fabric. But this silk tulle, soft silk tulle that I would need probably 7 yards of, because I decided I only need about 5 yards for the skirt itself, and then I would need another yard-ish for the top for the tulle, because there isn't any on the sleeves. The drapes are the gauze, so I would need between 5 and 6 yards for the skirt and then another yard for the bodice. And this silk tulle was clocking in at 55 pounds a yard. So the cost for 7 yards would have been $385. So I in fact decided that I was okay going with a synthetic, and I did not in fact need silk. But where the real kicker was probably the screen accurate silk satin that they used, which was a Duchess satin in a vintage ivory. I think I need 10 yards of satin at 75 pounds a yard, or pounds a meter. I suppose it's in meters, not even in yards. So that is like a little bit more, but I would still need 10 meters. So that is in fact 750 pounds. And I said, no. I also want to make sure that the ivories match. So I would need to buy the silk gauze and then also get swatches for silk and then pay the shipping and the tariffs, because not only did I pay $40 for shipping to the US, I also paid another $38 for tariffs after it had already gotten to the US. Thank you. So I've ordered swatches from here in LA, and I in fact already have them. But I did actually really like this nylon soft tulle from Top Fabric, and it was only $9.50 pounds. It was $9.50 pounds there, and I ordered 6 meters, and it's already here. Let me grab that and then we can look at swatches too, because I haven't looked at the swatches with the fabric. I haven't even touched the fabric yet. I'm nervous. I wanted to unbox it on camera. I will also say that Top Fabric came exceptionally fast. It came from London and I'm in Los Angeles. So like, yes, this is like very easy to import into here because it is Los Angeles. But I ordered it at, I had a timeline and it was really funny. I placed the order at 6 p.m. Pacific time. At 2:50 a.m. that night, I got the my payment went through. And then at 3:30 a.m. I got like a double confirmation email that was like, yes, we have your order, like your payment went through, everything's good. And then at 9 a.m., this is like 15 hours after I placed the order, I got the tracking information. And I placed the order on Monday, and then that night got everything. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m., I get the tracking info. I pull up the tracking info. I'm like, oh, it's probably just gonna be like, here's your tracking info. It's not gonna move for like a week. You know how it does? Like, we've printed your label. Your label was created, but you're not gonna see your stuff for 2 weeks. I ordered this now thinking that I wasn't going to get the fabric for 2 weeks. Like, I thought that it was just gonna be a standstill. I thought I was getting ahead of the game. And then I look at the tracking and it says, your order will be here Thursday. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Well, okay. Thursday rolls around, I'm at work. I get a text, I'm like, I check the tracking at like noon. I check the tracking, like, I haven't seen anything, it's definitely not coming today. Scheduled delivery for 2 p.m. I was like, oh. I checked the tracking 30 minutes before that. The tracking said it was still at the London Heathrow Airport. How's it gonna get here in 2 hours? And then it got here in 2 hours, so shouts out to them. Here is the fabric. Oh my god, this isn't even my first screen accurate material from Top Fabric. I bought some Daenerys materials from there, but this feels like otherworldly. Okay, yeah, I'm super cool and chill about all of this. So this is the silk gauze. Does it look white or does it look ivory? I think it's gonna look slightly ivory, which is how it's supposed to look. This is the screen accurate material. So this is the gauze, and then this is the ivory tulle that I bought. I think it's because there's 6 meters here, there's just more of it, but it does look more ivory than this one, slightly, like just barely. Yeah, no, this is gonna be really nice, and it's got like the big wide holes as well, and it's like just on the bodice and on the dress, and you can only see it because the blood, but it's such a soft tulle, which is just perfect. But let me see. Okay, where is this opening? This is going to fray like no one's business, which is, I suppose, what it's supposed to do. Okay, yeah, no, these look really good together. I was worried for a second, but no, yeah, we're chilling. We are Super chillin'. Okay, so now we need to look at our swatches. So I ordered swatches forever ago. This is my shop. This is my favorite shop. They have an online store, highly recommend. One time I ordered something from Amazon and then I ordered for like next day shipping, and then I ordered fabric. After I ordered from Amazon, I ordered fabric from Psy Fabrics on their website, and the next day my fabric came before my next day delivery Amazon came. So yeah, like shouts them out. I love them. They're just psyfabrics.com. I get like most of my fabric from there. So I ordered a bunch of swatches. Their swatches also come really nice. Like I love that. And I just ordered a bunch of their satin swatches. I love their bridal satins. I love their bridal satins. They are thick. They are like really easy to work with, and they look really nice either on the matte side or the shiny side. I use so much of their bridal satins. They're such like a heavy, nice. But I think the one that I really like for this is the heavyweight stretch. This is the one that when it came in, I was like, yeah, I'm sold. So I got white and ivory for basically everything except for like these two. I think these two I only ordered in white and I didn't get the ivory. Maybe they didn't have an ivory, but I just wanted to see what their material looked like. But right now, what we're gonna do is we are going to look at both of these under the tulle and the gauze in some like direct light somewhere. Okay, let me look. I'm just gonna look at them myself and then I'll come back with my answer. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit torn. I did just go take like a bunch of pictures with my flash on, with all of the materials on top of each other, but then I walked over into like direct sunlight and I was looking at the swatches just like next to the tulle because I was like, oh wait, I was leaning towards the white even though the white looked really bright. On flash, I was leaning towards the white. And then I walked over into the sunlight and I held them like this because I realized that the sleeves don't have any tulle on them, and I said, no, the ivory is in fact perfect. This is the ivory fabric that I'm going to get, and I think I'm going to get like 11 yards of it, actually. I changed my mind. I don't want 10, I want 11. Just in case, because I need a little bit more for the skirt than I do the tulle, because there's a section in the skirt right in the middle that has no cartridge pleats on it on the tulle, but it does on the satin. So now that we've picked our fabrics and we've done, you know, a little bit more research, let's talk about the actual kind of like researching the construction a little bit and how I do it, at least, because I do it kind of a weird way. It's a little bit, let's say I have a degree in fashion design, so this is how I do it now. I don't do fashion sketches anymore. I used to, and then I had a teacher tell me, I had multiple teachers actually, that were very rude at school that told me that I was bad at drawing, so I shouldn't do it. And so then I just stuck to doing fashion flats, which this is an example of a fashion flat. I do them on my iPad in Procreate, and this is like not really the time to be truly discussing how to do it, but you take your croquis and you draw directly on it, and then eventually you end up with your fashion flat. And fashion flats are truly supposed to go to the manufacturer with the sample and tell them like, okay, this is how long this line is, this is how long this is like where all of the seams are and all the stitches are. I don't do all of that anymore. You're also supposed to do it in like Adobe Illustrator. I just do it in Procreate. This is how I just do my like concepts and stuff, because then I can take my individual pieces and I can put them into a map that looks like this. And I can put my little notes on it. I did a lot of this for Clove from Valorant. I also did a like color story, and I did all of that for that because I had the actual like animation like base images because it's a video game character. But for this, I went through all of my reference images that I have, that go take a glance at them, and this map will also be there with my notes on it if you can read my notes. But I looked through all of my reference images, and I always do a half rough sketch of where the seam lines are, where this is, and then I go through it and I go, okay, I can't see this, I can't see this, I can't see this. This is probably here, like the front of the dress. This is the lines that you can see. So hopefully you can see this. There's probably like infinite glare from my light. Maybe I should turn off my light for this one moment. The lighting's probably not as good now. We just have the natural lighting from the windows, but can you see this now? No? Cool. Okay. The base bodice for this, you can definitely see that there are princess seams on the back, as well as that there is a yoke and that it's a drop shoulder. And then there are darts in the yoke, the shoulder yoke on the back. So we can only assume, we know that the yoke, the shoulder yoke, we can see where it is on the front. We know exactly where it's gonna lay, but you can't see any princess seams on the front because it is under the over corset, which is under the tulle layer. So I'm going to actually assume that there are matching princess seams on the front as the back and that you just cannot see them. Alternatively, because of the bloody photos, you know that there are 3 shaped darts on the tulle layer on the bodice because you can see that the tulle layer didn't get bloodied in the like final wear, so you can see all of them because it sits off of it. You can also see because of that there is a center front seam on that one because there isn't the yoke. You feel me? So we've got so many different patterns to make because we did all of our great research. We know all of this. We also know that I'm crazy and I counted how many eyelets are on the underbodice and the rib corset. I'm gonna call it the rib corset because that's what it looks like and that's kind of what everyone refers to it as. There's 17 eyelets on the bodice and 14 eyelets on the rib corset. I also know that there is no closure on the back of the tulle, but it does open at the center back. I do believe it is just tucked in or top stitched on. Figuring that out for a judging room is gonna be really interesting, but you know, we'll figure it out. And then I also realized that this is absolutely what my sleeve pattern is gonna look like, which is so silly goofy. I don't even know if you can see it. There is one bandage that goes all the way around at the sleeve hole, the armhole, and then they are kind of just overlapping each other from there, and they are sewn together at this seam right here. What I'm going to do as a little trick for that is put a zipper basically to my elbow because they're gonna be tight, and then leave really long strands because I need to tie them around my hands up to like here, like to my second knuckle, and then have just really long drapees on the end anyway. So I think, you know, that's basically what I've planned from there, and we'll see how the rest of this goes. I think I covered everything. Feel free, once again, to look at my reference photos. They're not organized yet. You'll also have my sourcing base as well in the Google Drive. This is all gonna be linked below. So my sourcing base is basically my spreadsheet that shows which fabrics I've used, which ones I've looked at, how much they are, how much it's costing me in like everything so far. But I do believe that is it. And thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful on researching. Truly, social media is a gift when you're researching this kind of thing, especially when people are proud of the projects that they're working on because they want to show off what they've done. So thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!